I'm Ryan Iverson, and this is the Investor Breakout Weekly Insight. Let's talk about what happened this week. The Canadian dollar is back in focus, and for the first time in more than 2.5 years, speculators are turning bullish. The Canadian dollar jumped to a 10-year high, rising about 1% to roughly 74 US cents. Positioning is the key driver. Speculators are now net long the Canadian dollar for the first time since mid-2023, flipping sharply from net short just a week earlier. Canada's labor market helped spark the move. The unemployment rate fell to a 16-month low. That resilience reduces pressure on the Bank of Canada to cut rates further. The US dollar is also losing ground. Broad weakness in the greenback is building as speculative bets turn more bearish. Reports that Chinese regulators are urging their banks to curb exposure to US Treasuries added to the slide. Oil is lending support as well. Crude prices rose more than 1% on renewed concerns around US-Iran tensions, lifting currencies tied to energy exports. For investors, this move is about more than price. It's about positioning. When speculators flip after years on one side of the trade, it can signal the early stages of a broader shift. Now the question, can the loonie hold this momentum, and is this just the start of a bigger repositioning? NeuPath Health, or NPTH on the venture, was a top 5 pick from the Investor Breakout Exchange at CEM's AlphaNorth Capital event 2026. For one simple reason, it's delivering essential care faster inside a strained healthcare system. Chronic pain affects roughly 1 in 4 Canadians, yet hospital wait times can stretch into years. NeuPath fills that gap with regulated community clinics that provide hospital-level pain treatment within weeks, not years, while operating fully inside Canada's public healthcare framework. This is already a scaled business. NeuPath runs 12 clinics across Ontario and Alberta, reported 26% revenue growth last quarter, nearly doubled adjusted EBITDA, and is guided toward 86 to 88 million in revenue for 2025. For investors, the appeal is clear. Essential healthcare, public reimbursement, improving margins, and a platform built to expand. That combination is exactly what earned NeuPath a top pick at the AlphaNorth Capital event. The results are in for the 2026 CEM Whistler Capital event, and it was a high-energy, standout weekend. After a full day of one-on-one meetings, investors came together for the Investor Breakout Exchange to compare notes, share perspectives, and highlight the companies that stood out most. We gathered that insight, analyzed it, and distilled it into the top 5 picks from Whistler. Those companies are Scotty Resources, Blue Energies, Atlas Salt, Onyx Gold, and Resolve Technologies. Each of these companies tells a different story and sits at a different stage, but all captured investor attention during a packed and productive exchange. Over the next few weeks, we'll be releasing in-depth editorial spotlights on each of the top 5 companies. And if you want the full picture, including the top 10 from the event and deeper insight from the Investor Breakout Exchange, make sure you're subscribed to our newsletter. That wraps up the AlphaNorth Top 5, with NeuPath rounding out the list, and the Whistler Top 5 now officially out. If you want the full breakdown, the top 10 rankings, and how investors are thinking about these names as the Canadian dollar makes headlines, make sure you're following Investor Breakout. I'm Ryan Iverson, and we'll see you next week.